The previous 6 sessions in this video series covered why and how to increase the engagement of your students through active participation. Strategies presented thus far include structured choral responses, partner responses, and individual responses. In this session, you will watch a video of Dr. Archer teaching an elementary vocabulary lesson. This video will help you visualize how to put the active participation strategies presented in sessions 1 through 6 into practice in your classroom. It also provides additional information about the strategies.
We are now going to watch a little video, if you would, you're going to do 2 things as you watch this video. You're going to look for anything that is a really good practice, and you're going to write that down. But you're also going to write down, well, oh, that's a missed opportunity. That would have been a useful thing to do, and particularly if it would make a significant difference. Okay? And one of the things that, of course, you as a principal, you're going to be going into classes all the time and looking for good practices as well as missed opportunities. But the real movement in American education is to expand that beyond just the coach visiting our class and the principal visiting, but having our colleagues come in and give us feedback. As a way to create a community of educators all working together to improve their individual practice. And so we might share some missed opportunities. And the one thing I try to work on is being certain that if I'm giving feedback that is something I would love to see change, that it really would have made a difference. Not just my personal preference, like, oh, I would have done it this way. That's not good enough. Those things that are just personal preference we let go of. But if it would really make a difference, and there's some things on this video that would have really made a difference that I've already taught you. Okay, so you're going to look for good practices and any missed opportunities. This is an elementary class, and I am teaching them vocabulary for a passage that they are going to read. Actually, they have read, I read to them a read aloud, and I plucked some words out from the read aloud that I am teaching them. So get ready to record best practice and missed opportunities. Now, there are some words in this story that I would really like us to learn because we could use them all of the time. And this word is, let's read it by parts. The first part is con. What part, everyone? Con, and use the sound s. And the next part is sen. And the last part is trait. And say it really fast, everyone. Concentrate. One more time, everyone. Concentrate. One more time. Concentrate. Now, you remember in the story that some of the animals couldn't what, everyone? Concentrate when the wolf was reading. Now, the word concentrate means that you are able to really think about something. You're able to put all of your attention on it. So when I really think about something and put all of my attention on it, I concentrate. What do I do, everyone? I concentrate. For example, if you were doing your math and you did one problem and then the next problem, and never looked up when someone came in the room, we would say that she knows how to what, everyone? Concentrate. If you came to the library and sat down and you took out a book and you just read and read, even though he came over and she walked around you, we'd say, boy, you are able to put your thinking on it. You're able to put your attention on it. She knows how to what, everyone? Concentrate. Get ready to tell me if this person in the pretend story knows how to concentrate. So you are reading in class, and you just read, and you turn the page, and you read some more, and you read some more, and you read some more, and you just keep reading. Does she know how to concentrate? Yes or no, everyone? Yes, okay? And this is pretend, because it would never happen. So you start reading a page, and then you look up at the clock, and then you look down, and then you talk over with your friends, and you look back at the book. Does she know how to concentrate, yes or no? No. She really does. That was just a pretend story. So once again, what is our word, everyone? Concentrate. Well, Let's look at our next word. And the first part, everyone, is next one is press. And the whole word is impressed. So you are impressed with something when you think something is really good or someone is really good. Now you remember in the story, at the beginning, they were not impressed with Wolf's reading. When I think something is really good or I think someone is really good, I am what, everyone? Impressed. I'm what, everyone? Impressed. So for example, if you turned in a story and it had a title and a main character and a problem and told me what happened in the beginning, middle, and end, I'd say, oh, that is so good. I am what, everyone? Impressed. If you did all of your math problems and you had numbers that were really neat and I could read them all, I would say, oh, thank you. I am so impressed. All right. Now, let's just pretend here that we go off to your house and we go in your bedroom and each of us come out and we say, oh, I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. I'm so impressed. Now pretend that we were really impressed. Put your thumb up, and as soon as you can think of why we might be impressed. Oh, I got an idea. Okay, so you're going to tell your partner why you're impressed, but you're going to start out by saying, I was impressed because. What are you going to say, everyone? I was impressed because. So first ones, then twos. Tell your partner, if we went to our bedroom and we said we were impressed, why would we be impressed? Go.
I was really impressed because the room was green.
Excellent. And your idea? What would be really? Maybe she had lots of toys? So say, I was impressed because she had lots of toys. Can you say that?
Or maybe
His turn. Go ahead. Say it. Excellent. Okay, looking up here. So, using I was impressed. So, tell me your sentence. I was impressed because the room was clean. And your sentence? I was impressed because she had a lot of toys. And right here. I was impressed. Okay, now we're talking about a room. I'm impressed that you know how to do math. That's excellent. But make it match the room. So we went to a room. Maybe she had lots of dolls. And you said, I am impressed because she had many dolls. Can you say that?
I was impressed because she had many dolls.
Excellent job. Well, once again, this word is what, everyone? Impressed. I am very impressed with you. Last word is educated. What word, everyone? Educated. When we learn something, particularly how to read and write, we say that then we are what, everyone? Educated. So when we come to school here and we work on learning how to read and write, we become more what, everyone? Educated. But then when we go to 3rd and 4th and 5th grade and we learn more and we get more and more knowledge, we become more what, everyone? Educated. And when you go to middle school, you're going to become more educated. When you go to high school, you're going to become more educated. When you go to college, you're going to become more educated. Excellent. Now, I'm going to tell you about one of these words. As soon as you know the word, put your thumb up. I'm thinking about a word that means that you've learned to read and write and maybe other kinds of knowledge. Put your thumb up when you know that word. And whisper to your partner the word I'm thinking about. Okay, so when you've learned to read and write, then we would say you are educated. I'm thinking of a word that means I think that something is really good. Put your thumb up when you know the word. Whisper to your partner. And the word is what, everyone? Impressed. I am thinking about a word that means you really know how to put all of your thinking and attention on something. Whisper to your partner. Excellent. And the word is what, everyone? Concentrate. Yes. Now, these are words that you could use. For example, maybe you are sitting in the library with a friend and you want to read and they're being very noisy. You could say, oh, please be quiet. I need to Concentrate. Or maybe your friend writes a beautiful story and it's really a good story and you say, oh, I am impressed. Or you could go home at night and say, oh, I'm learning so much in school. I am definitely becoming educated. Excellent job, everybody standing up. And I am so impressed with you. During the whole lesson, you were able to, what, everyone? Concentrate. Yes, you really paid attention and were thinking about what we were doing. And because you learned these new words, you are even more, what, everyone? Educated. So I want you to see if you can find a time today where you could use those words. For example, when your teacher finishes a lesson, you could go up afterward and say, oh, that was so good. I am impressed. Okay, so see if you can use some of these words today and lining up there. And thank you very much. Okay, 1 minute to add to your notes. Look it over. Good practices, missed opportunities. Okay, you're going to share with your partner, and first you're going to do the good practices, and then you're going to move into missed opportunities. So ones are going to start, one good practice was, two you're going to say another good practice was, go back and forth until you've used up your answers, and then go to missed opportunities. And begin now. Good job. Okay, wonderful job. And so I'm going to share with you my answers. And again, it's because of the critical nature of feedback. Oftentimes you've taken the risk of making a response, the teacher gives you feedback, and at that very moment, learning occurs. So the quality of feedback is absolutely necessary in our class. So I took notes on what might be good practice in terms of vocabulary, but also for what we're working on today, which is active participation. And were the students ever required to respond during the lesson, yes or no, everyone? Yes, and I know that some of you took data on it, how many responses were requested, and it was probably about an average of 7 responses per minute, a little bit more than that, actually. So the first thing I wrote down was that I taught 3 words, but I used the same routine, the same steps every time. And so first I introduced the what, everyone? The word. And because these students are working on reading multisyllabic words, I infused that skill within this lesson by asking them what part, what part, what part, what word. And then I gave them not a dictionary definition, but a what, everyone? A student-friendly explanation. Illustrated it with some what, everyone? Some examples. And then I asked them questions to check their understanding. And you know, there is huge benefits of us getting down as teachers instructional routines. And so every time I introduced a vocabulary word with this group, whether it was math or science or social studies or reading, I'd introduce the word, give a student-friendly explanation, illustrate it with examples, check for understanding. But if I got that down, would I have a perkier pace as I was teaching, yes or no? Yes, and the pace would definitely move along because I'd have automaticity with that routine. And if I had a perkier pace, would the students be perhaps more attentive, yes or no? Yes. And we actually know from some studies that their error rate is going to go down because they're more attentive. So you don't have to spend as much time correcting their errors, but it requires that we have some automaticity in our instruction. So that was the first thing I wrote down as a good practice, and then I wrote down that it was useful at the end of the lesson that I went back and did some, what, everyone? Some review. And I even discussed with them how they might use it. And later that day, the teacher of the class came to me and said, you know, Anita, I have taught more than 20 years, but this is the first time any of my students in 2nd grade have actually been impressed. So 3 of the children went to the teacher after lesson and said, I was so impressed with that lesson. But if we want children to use a skill, does it help to tell them to use it, yes or no? Yes. So that's one way to promote generalization of what we are teaching. I also wrote down just a little idea, and is it helpful in vocabulary to have numerous exposures to the word yes or no, everyone? Yes. Now, if we counted the number of times I said impressed or asked them to say impressed, it exceeded 30. And if you've heard or said impressed 30 times, it will be impressed upon you. And so, multiple exposures. But it also gave us a chance to look at what we have talked about today. So we've been looking at active participation, procedures to get responses, and one was choral responses. Now, I wrote down it was a good practice when the answers were short and the same to have everybody say it. But I so honored your feedback, Mandy, that I needed to be more careful to be certain that all of them were responding. And most of the time they were, but I wasn't as tight about signaling them as I might have been. And so I might really want to watch that as a missed opportunity, because if I allow my behavior to disintegrate a little bit, will their behavior disintegrate a little bit? Yes or no, everyone? Yes, so I could watch that. And then I had them share an answer with whom, everyone? Their partner. And I used exactly what we had talked about. I asked a question, gave them what, everyone? Thinking time. Then I gave them a sentence starter, and then I had them share with their partner. and then I called on an individual. Now, this was exactly the practice that I used, and you suggested that I probably could have used more partner responses. And Holly, I totally honor that feedback. That would have been useful during it to have more partner opportunities, partly because vocabulary is a part of oral language, and I needed to have the kids talk more. And so I could have infused even more partner work. Woo, good job giving me feedback. Then I also used a hand signal where I had them indicate that they had an answer, not by raising their hand, but putting their thumb up to indicate it. Excellent. Now, if I was to pick out the most important thing in this whole video, it would be that I did this. That when I asked them to say an answer to their partner, I did what, everyone? I monitored, but I also coached. I didn't just monitor, I coached them. So when I came to the two young men, the first one I said, say your answer, and he said, I was impressed because the room was clean. Okay? Then I asked his partner, what is your answer? And the child, and so I couldn't really guide him to the answer, so I gave him a possibility. Well, maybe she had many toys. And you could say, I was impressed because she had many toys. And then he repeated it. But did you see the benefit of that monitoring and coaching? Because when I called on him in a loud, confident voice, he said, I was impressed because she had many toys. That is one of the great gifts of constantly circulating and monitoring and coaching. Because let's think about that. Now in front of his peers, he's given a hearty answer. Is it possible that his peers are going to begin to think, ew, there's a student? Is that possible? Yeah. Yes or no? Yeah, it's going to change their attitude. And if he gives a confident answer, is it going to make him think he's a learner?